Good evening, or actually evening. I love doing things in the evening. I usually do. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm his Dr. Glow here, very finally, the CEO of Black Girl Everything, as well as the founder and CEO of the Daisy Dream Project. Very thankful for everyone to join me today for this free webinar on parenting while dreaming, how to pursue your goals without sacrificing your family. So those of you who are watching, please make sure that you have yourself muted and your cameras off during this part of being recorded, because this will also live on my YouTube channel, which is called Black Girl Everything, and it will also exist on the Daisy Dream Project page, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and jump. I'm really excited about this workshop because a lot of times people ask me how I do what I do when it comes down to the different businesses that I run, when it comes down to working with children, when it comes down to anything that I do. It's like, how do you do it all, right? And especially do it all while being balanced and being a parent. So I'm going to go through some of the tricks that I use when I am creating anything that I want to create. Now, I tell people that I'm a master manifester, meaning that when there's things that I want to accomplish, I get what I want. And I get what I want through following some basic steps. And I'm going to go over those particular things with you today. So if you have any questions during while I'm doing any part of this presentation, please feel free to type your questions inside the chat. And I will respond to them. I'll do some pausing in between for some Q&A. So let's go ahead and let's get started on parenting while dreaming, how to pursue your goals without sacrificing your family. Page 2. Okay, so meet your coach. Who is me? Dr. Gloria Pope. Hello. So a little bit more about myself is that I was born here in Mount Vernon, New York. I'm a proud Mount Vernon Knight. I am a serial entrepreneur. I don't like using that word. I just honestly just live my dreams and do exactly what I want to do. So by running my early childhood program that I run, I'm excited to do that. I'm excited for my sensory gym I just opened, and I'm also excited for Black Girl Everything. So for me, the work that I do is really more so focused around creating opportunity for Black and Brown people. And it can be tiresome sometimes, but I just keep on plugging ahead because I know every time that I meet someone who has gained any type of knowledge or anything from me is a better world for me. I'm also an executive functioning coach. So what executive functioning coach is for me, my definition of it is I am an individual who work with people on supporting all aspects of your life, because I don't think you can be successful unless everything is in alignment between your family, between your health, between your personalized relationships, between whatever work you're doing, whatever businesses you're operating. Everything must be in alignment for you to actually be okay. So what I do is I focus on building out from the bottom and building out on your circle to ensure that all aspects are taken care of on a daily basis. All right. So why this workshop, right? So there's a couple of goals that I have in place for this workshop. One is to empower parents and even individuals, no matter if you're not even a parent, on how to understand. Understand the importance of pursuing your dreams alongside parenting, right? Provide practical tools for balancing your family and your ambition. Because sometimes the big thing that people come up with is like, I want to just give my children everything. And it's great to give your children everything, especially when we're talking about when we didn't receive certain things when we were children. We want to ensure that our kids have better opportunities than we have. But sometimes when we do that, we stop doing what we always wanted to do for ourselves. And that's where we need to talk through today on how to continue to live your life, continue to be the amazing parent, but also continue to do the things that you want to do that you've always dreamed about. And then also we're talking about in this space, I'm talking about fostering a supportive community, right? About how to create an environment. Well, for you in this space, this is going to be a safe space, right? Where you're going to be able to actually ask the real questions that you may have. Really dig deep and hone in on, why am I not dreaming? Why am I not reaching this next level? Why am I not really focused on what I want, what I said I wanted to be, right? Is because we get so caught up, we give birth to these little people, and then we look at them and then we're just like, yeah, I really want to be everything for them. But unfortunately, if you're not everything for yourself first, none of that actually matters. right? So when we're talking about dreaming, dreaming is essential for personal fulfillment, which contributes to being the best you. So through this workshop, the goal is ultimately to think about what that dream may be and how to get there. Right. And then what are going to be the tools you're going to use to insist on your dreaming? So a lot of people's like, this is one of the first workshops I'm offering to my early childhood parents, is because it's the top of the year. And I'm trying to tell you by the end of this year, I want to see steps taken for you to actually accomplish these goals and accomplish these dreams that you say you have. And I want to be there to be able to support you through that process. Okay. The balancing act. This is the first part about it. It refers to how we are trying to be a parent, be a wife, or be a husband, and then sitting there and still trying to be you all at the same time. A lot of families, a lot of moms may report that when they have children, they feel as if they don't no longer feel like themselves because they're giving their soul, their body, and their attention and their efforts, everything into their children and not necessarily into them. Right. So the balancing act is about creating space where you can have yourself and you still can have your children, you can have everything, because there's nothing stopping you from having everything but you. You are the person who is in the front of where you're supposed to have and where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to gain. You are the only thing stopping it from happening. So we're going to talk about what are some of the barriers to around what's stopping us from getting to where we need to do. What is some of the barriers, or what is the story really that I'm telling myself that's stopping me from getting where I need to go? The first part of that about that is to reclaiming your identity, right? Think about, for those of you who are in this space with me today, think about that moment where you thought about how you who you wanted to be. Think about that before you start. So it's a short activity. I want you to write down one thing you loved doing before you became a parent. Now, say those of you who are participating in this and who don't have children, right? Or say those of you who are going to be watching this webinar after my YouTube channel, if you're watching the recording. I want you to take a moment, write down one thing you loved doing before you became a parent, or if you don't have children, one thing doing before you committed to parenting that job you have, or parenting your parents, or being in a committed relationship. Go back to way back when you was just you. Now, for those individuals who never had a moment where they felt like it was just you, take that moment right now where there's no considerations, where there's nothing else involved, right? I want you to think about, what is that one thing you love doing, or one of those things that you wanted to be, or who was that, or how was that? How were you moving throughout the world, right? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds because it should come to you, because that thought is in the back of your mind. It's always there. It's haunting you. It's whispering you, showing up in your dreams, because we all have somebody who we were, right? We all thought about what we wanted to be. Think about that. Right now, I'm thinking about who I wanted to be. And then guess what? I'm that person today. So think about who you want to be. So as we recognize, right, dreaming keeps your individual identity alive. Because when we dream, we're thinking about what we want. The what we want question is one of the most important questions you can ever ask yourself. What do I want? And if you're not clear about what that answer is to that question, you're not clear about anything. So every day that you're waking up, every day that you're existing in whatever space you're existing in, and you're not following what you want, right? Because we get caught up, oh, I could what I want, but I need to do this, I need to do that. No, you honestly get the opportunity to do those things. But if you're following what you want, none of those things that you have to do are actually hard. All those things come with ease when you're following what you want. So here's some basic statistics, right? It says that 53% of adults stop dreaming, especially when they have children. 53% stop dreaming. And out of the 47% who still continue to dream, only 20% project that they actually accomplish their dreams. Only 20% of people. So if you have 20% who's saying, yes, I accomplished my dreams, what is going on with the other 80? Right? So we have the 53 who don't try at all. More than half of people don't try. There's like, oh, I'm just not even going to attempt it because I have kids or I have these requirements. I have this job. I have this. And then you have out of that, you have that 47%. I'm going to do my dreams. And only 20% make it. Because what are the things that are stopping people in between? What are the things that are people are putting in front of why they're not moving forward? What are the things that individuals are saying, you know what? I think I want this, but I'm not going to go for it. What are those things? I know for a long time when I was younger, when I had my son in my early 20s, one of the things I didn't necessarily, I knew I was always a dreamer, right? That's just who I am. I'm a dreamer, promoter. I'm very controlling. I'm a controller. So I'm clear on controlling my own life, always have been ever since I was a young child. I've always had to have control. But with that, I was able to navigate through parenting and still accomplishing those things that I want. It wasn't until definitely my 30s, because I don't think you turn into a real adult until like 33, into my 30s when I started realizing, okay, all right, you know what? Now I'm gonna start acting on those particular dreams, and that those things really started to come through for what I want. So those of you who are watching this right now who haven't hit 30 yet, no worries, okay? You're not really an adult yet. You do not really hit adulthood clearly until you're into your 30s. All right. And then you become a real adult in your 40s. And then I think I might be a grown up in my 50s. That's just how I look at life. Right. I'm in my 40s. Like I'm a real adult, but am I really a grown up yet? No. That's when I'm in my 50s because I'm still growing and still learning. So there's still plenty of opportunity and time for you to actually start dreaming and work on being part of that 20% who accomplishes those particular dreams. Okay. So why should you dream, even as a parent? Dreams inspire creativity, keep motivation high, and can impact the entire family, right? When you have a dream, that means you have a vision. You look at a nonprofit or organization, or you look at even look at the schools that your kids go to. When you guys first walked through, individuals came to my school, one of the things that I always want to know is like, what does the school stand for? What is the mission of the school? And I say to people, this is not a babysitting service. This is an educational facility for very young people, right? Or if even when people come into my sensory gym, what is the mission? What do you do here at this sensory gym? We're here to create and foster opportunities for Black and Brown families to nourish and grow their families through parent engagement, especially with children with diagnosed disabilities. People ask, what is the vision and the focus of Black Girl Everything? It's to promote and support BIWOC-owned businesses to ensure that Black women are getting access to the coaching that they need to help their businesses thrive, as well as host really, really cool events to actually give people access to networking and collaboration and all those other great things that matter, especially when you're trying to grow in any aspect of your life, right? We're going to talk a little bit about at the end of this about my framework called, which focuses so much on network because your network is equals your net worth. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But if you don't have a dream and if you're not living through your vision of your life, what are you really doing? Are you waking up every day with this? Okay, I woke up. Okay, let me get breakfast. Let me get my kid dressed. Let me give them a shower. Let me get them to school. Let me get to the job and making someone else rich, right? At this job that I'm at. What are you really doing? In the back of your mind that you're sitting here, okay, I'm gonna do this job because I get this paycheck, but you know what? I really wanted to be this when I was growing up. And like you heard me say just a couple of minutes ago, I'm in my 40s. I'm not a grown up yet. No, I'm still growing because I feel as if by the time I get to my 50s, I'm gonna come up with something else and I'm still not gonna be a grown up because I'm still growing, right? So it's like I'm never going to stop growing, and you should never stop growing. So your dreams should just keep going and just keep pivoting as they need to pivot as you move along. Because sometimes the dream that you had in second grade, I thought I was going to be a police officer. Why? I don't know. I don't even like guns. So it wasn't going to be a thing for me. It wasn't going to be a thing for me at all. But as I started getting older and I started leaning more so into education by like fourth grade, I knew I was going to be an educator, right? By the time I was in high school, I'm not getting to being in no classroom, trapped in four walls. Can't do it. Not my thing. So I knew by the time I got to college that administration was going to be my thing. Started doing early childhood, and that's when I really fell in love. And that wasn't until my 20s that I realized this is really, really my thing. So your dreams can change over the years, but you got to keep on dreaming because that creativity is going to impact everybody. Because I'm telling you right now, as a parent, if you're not dreaming and going for your dreams, your kids are not going to dream either because they don't see you dream. Okay. Now, some of the reasons why parents may not want to dream, the guilt of wanting more, right? We all have this thing, this myth that as a parent that you have to be selfless, right? No, I can't do anything because my kid needs me. Guess who needs you? You need you. You need you because that self-sacrifice that you sitting there putting yourself up on a cross for your child is not going to help even your child. It's not going to do anything. You need to be clear in the mindset that I need to be present to me, present to my goals, present to my dreams, because that's the only way that I'm going to foster that level of creativity for my children. That's the only way I'm going to foster that my children will see my mom goes for whatever she wants. My dad goes for whatever things that he wants. And this is why I'm going to go for whatever I want. That's how that works because our children mirror exactly who we are. So that guilt, honestly, is unnecessary. That guilt is with the story that we tell ourselves because we think we have to give everything up for our kids. We think we have to give everything up for, our ill parents. We think we have to give everything up for our jobs. We have to think on top of this, we think we have to give everything up for that relationship, right? No, you don't because you should want to have everything you want to have. It should be, yes, I'm in a solid relationship, but I want to go on vacation by myself once a year. Take that vacation because that's what you need. That's what's going to keep you strong. So when you come back from that vacation, you can reinvest all that energy and love for yourself back into your relationships, back into your children, back into your job, because you're doing the things that actually matter for you. Okay. Because wanting more for yourself doesn't take away from your children, it only adds to the experience of life. And you want to add to your experience of life. So you want to make sure you're also adding to the experience of others by doing those things guilt free. You have to make yourself a priority. Now, I've told you guys I'm an executive functioning coach, right? So I coach people on a whole bunch of different things, right? A lot of it is usually around business, but most of it's around individuals being the CEO of their own life. And now for me, if I'm going to be a great coach, a great business coach, a great life coach, a great coach for children with special needs, great parent coach, all that different type of coaching that I do, for me to be the best is for me to make myself a priority and also educate myself. I have coaches. I did PR coaching for about 3, 4 months at top of the year. Currently, right now, I'm working with a grant coach. I'm also working with a sponsorship coach. I'm working with different coaches all the time. I do a lot of work with this group called Momentum, where I go into the work in the room and I do a lot of coaching in the room just so I can get what I want out of the room as well. So I put that as a priority for myself to ensure that I can be the best coach for other people is by making sure that I am getting the coaching that I need. So when people sit here and say, well, I can't afford coaching, I can't afford that, there's free ways to do it, right? I'm not necessarily one of those free ways. One of my parents here have the luxury where they tap into me because they're enrolled in my program so they can get information from me. But yes, real coaching, it can be pricey, right? But you get what you pay for. So if you're looking for a real quality coach, realize that you're going to have to invest in that, right? Or go to your insurance and get yourself a therapist to help you talk through some things. You can talk through your goals with a therapist. There's different ways that you can maneuver around it, okay? But the thing about it is you want to set boundaries and allocate you time. Schedule dedicated time for yourself, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. Before I go home, sometimes I disappear. I disappear in my office here a lot. I close my door and I take a lot of me time. I enjoy exercising. They don't know it. Sometimes my door is closed. I'm in here doing push-ups. They had no clue, right? I'm reading. I'm working on my passion product projects. My whole life is my passion. So anything that I do, I'm passionate about. When I'm making flyers for my school, I'm making flyers for my gym, or I'm posting on my social media, I'm living towards my passions because I'm constantly always living within my dreams, that everything, doesn't matter what I do, matters towards that. So I'm always feeling like I'm celebrating me time. Incorporate my dreams into my family. My family know what my dreams are. Half of them work for me everywhere that I'm at, because I also believe as long as I'm moving forward, I'm going to put my people on as well. I include my family life into my dreams all the time. Like currently, right now, I'm on this spend break, and my daughter said, "Well, can we go do this?" And I said, "No, because we're on a family spend break." She was like, "Why?" "I have money in my piggy bank." I was like, "Yeah, but figure out how much more money is going to accumulate in your piggy bank, because right now, this month, we're not spending anything." And I explained that to her, because my dream right now that I focus on with my family is financial freedom. That's one of the big things, being debt free, paying off my house, right? I want, by the end of next year, I have no intentions of having any debt, right? So it's just like, what are the things that you're doing and you're dreaming about and that you want? And that's been a dream of mine since I've been a kid. And I tell people my story all the time. I was a kid I've lived in shelters at point in times in my life. I've experienced evictions at point in times in my life, right? I'm happy now that I own a home. My children don't experience any of those types of things, right? They don't experience their lights being turned off, or that struggle is because I knew that was also a dream for me, that I wanted to be a solid provider for my children. So that was a dream for me to buy my own home. And I did 4 years ago. I own my own home. It's a beautiful property, but it took work and it took time and it took energy and it took me focus that I believed that I could have it. I believed and I knew that when I was 17 and when I lived in West Hope, Mount Vernon on Franklin, right here in Mount Vernon, I lived in West Hope, right? And I said from then, I said, nah, this is not going to be me. I'm going to own my own home. And every step that I took from as a child, as I got older in high school and college and all my degrees later on, was to set myself up in the position that I would have household security. So that was a dream for me. And we all can have that dream, right? We all can have those particular things, even in this really sucky economy right now. And that's a dream for you. There's people who can support you with getting to that next step, but you just have to believe that you have it. You just have to believe that the universe is going to bless you with it. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to get any. So when you're creating dreams, you want to create dreams and make them part of your routine, right? Step one, start small and be consistent. Those of you who have a dream of having that Coca-Cola shaped body, start small. And it might just be going for a walk 10 minutes a day. It might just be stop drinking soda. It might just be leave the bread alone. It might just be no wine every day, right? It might be those simple things that can help you get to the next thing. And 15, 30 minutes a day of consistency on a particular goal towards your bigger goal can get you where you need to go, right? Step two, make sure your dream is part of your daily routines, right? And that also follows through being consistent. For example, your dream involves writing. You can dedicate part of your child's nap time or bedtime to writing. I used to do that when I wrote my first book, Hero, Memoirs of Infertility, right? When I wrote that book, I used to carry my tablet with me everywhere, right? My daughter, she was very skin to skin contact. She came out the womb. We didn't put her down for 4 days. So she's still very sensory, very skin to skin. So she was to be put to bed for until she was about 3.5. Somebody always had to be in the room with her until she fell asleep. So it didn't matter. So I would be in there writing my book with my laptop while she's sitting there reading her story. Then she'd sit there, listen to her music until she fell asleep. And sometimes it took 45 minutes. But I took that time as, okay, she's there going to sleep. I'm present, giving her what she needs, but I'm also focused on my dream. And that was part of my routine. And that's why I got that book written in 4 months. 4 months solid, I got that book written, right? Because I committed to that time to getting it done. Leverage your support systems. Again, with this book, one of my best friends is an amazing author. Her name is Vanessa Moore. She came on. I leveraged my support systems and said, yo, I need an editor. She was my editor again for that book. And she helped me support me through getting that through that because it became part of my dream routine. It became part of my everyday. So when we was at brunch and we were with our friends or we were hanging out at card nights and stuff of that nature, we would have conversations. I would have side conversations with her about my book. She'd be like, well, how's this going? This is going all right. This is where I'm at, blah, 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 because I made it part of my routine. Even when I was working on my doctorate, my laptop went with me everywhere. We was on vacation, my laptop was with me about 4 years. My laptop was with me everywhere I went because I always had work with me. I was always reading, always constantly involved in the schoolwork because that was my dream to become a doctor. I said that when I was 16 years old. I told my aunt, one of my greatest, may she rest in peace, one of my greatest aunts, my aunt Danielle. I said to her many, many moons, and when I was 16, back in 1996, I said to her, I'm going to be a doctor. Right. And I said, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to be a doctor. And as I got older and I got to college, realized I could be a doctor of education. Said, and that's it. And that's where I'm a doctor today because I incorporated my dreams into everyday routine. And I believed I can be those things. Okay. Now, being a dreamer parent is right. And I said a couple of slides ago that you want to make sure that you are dreaming around your children. Dream, 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 dream around your children so your children become dreamers. Dreaming as a family unit is important. It includes collaboration, how involving your children or partner can make the process of be collaborative and fun around getting your dreams. Be honest with your partners about what your dreams are. Don't keep them a secret. Be honest with your coworkers about what your dreams are. Now, you guys know I run a school. A lot of my teachers, they'll come to me and I want to know what their real dreams are. I don't want everybody to tell me, oh, my dream is to work here for the rest of my life and retire. That can't be your only dream. I don't want to hear the fluff of what sounds right or what's politically correct in a job. And if you're working for someone who does not foster your actual real life dreams, why are you even there? How are you even going to actually get to the next level of your life if you're not surrounding yourself with individuals who want to empower you to do everything that you want to do? And that includes your relationship. That also includes your children. Because if your children are not empowering you, if your children are not saying yes and congratulating you, that means that you're not doing it enough for them because you're not modeling that behavior for them. They need to see that you're talking to them about what their dreams are, what they want to be, and supporting them when they show interest in particular sports. Say you can't afford the sports program. Go ask them for what they can do and how they can work with you. Go ask people for what type of scholarships or grants are accessible and available because the money's out there. Trust me, other people find it every day. So sometimes in some sports programs or things like that you want to get your children into, they have money donated into their scholarships if you can't afford these higher end things that you want to get your children in. But if the step is, oh, you want to live in this scarcity mindset that you can't get anywhere, you can't give anything, then your children are not going to have anything anyway because you're too busy walking around scared. Life is abundance, right? There's billions and trillions of dollars out there. You can get yourself 100,000. You just got to figure out how and ask the right people within the network to get there. And that comes with confidence, my people. How you pursue your dreams influences your children's view on hard work and ambition. If your children aren't ambitious, it's because you raised them and you weren't ambitious. I'm going to tell you right now. Because your children mirror and model exactly who you are. So if your children aren't go-getters, it's because they weren't being raised by a go-getter. So if you want your children to dream, if you want your children to be the biggest person that they want to be, you want to be in a relationship with dreamers. You want to have the relationship you want to grow and foster. So we have this thing called relationship goals, as per the internet says, right? If you want to have those particular things, then you need to be that person in that relationship. And if the individuals that you're with are not keeping up with that flow of you, then why are you there? What is the point? Because all it's doing is stopping your level of creativity. Because creativity creates inspirational stories for parents and balances families and dreams. I love telling my kids I want to be a doctor since I was 16. Took me a while. I didn't become a doctor until 2018. Took me 22 years, but I accomplished that dream. I've accomplished every single dream I've ever set out to do, every single one. So I'm constantly looking for new dreams to attack, looking for new dreams to go for, because that's what makes life worth living. It's not about the the things that we believe that we want. It's about the things that you strive for, right? So want everything and go for it. And show your children that it's so important to be a dreamer parent because your children will dream as well. And don't quit. Dreaming with flexibility. Sometimes you got to be dreaming. Now, listen, sometimes it's not going to be easy, right? Sometimes it's going to be hard. Like I said, I declared I was going to be a doctor. It took me 22 years to do that. I took a gap in my academics over in between for a few years at some point, went back and forth, took couple of different programs, took a couple of degrees, pivoted back to a couple of others. There were some financial things in the middle that stopped me alone, but I did not quit, right? Time is on your side. Even with limited time, consistently working towards your dreams, even in short periods, add up. Okay. A few minutes each day, whether early in the morning or late at night, can lead to significant progress over months and years. There's plenty of 2 a.m. mornings that I have, 3 a.m. mornings, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. mornings that I have. Okay. Where I'm sitting there focused on my dreams. Don't do it alone. Pursuing your dreams can be overwhelming. Right? A coach offers encouragement and support, helping you maintain confidence, stay resilient, and push through obstacles you feel like giving up on, right? Especially coaches, get yourself a coach, right? I don't think anybody can do anything without a coach. I told you, I have plenty of coaches. There's plenty of people who I follow online who are amazing coaches. I follow their reels, I follow their lives, I listen to them, right? And then also celebrating the small wins. Celebrate the fact that you showed up for this webinar today. Be proud of yourself for choosing that I still want to be a parent and dream at the same time, right? Be proud that you took time out of your busy day on a Thursday at 12 o'clock to be present in this space to get this information, right? So celebrate that as a win. Celebrate the small wins, because every time you celebrate those smaller milestones, those smaller things you're able to accomplish, the bigger things are going to come. Take action. Now, I told you in the beginning, one of the big things is about my framework. It's called brand. Now, this is my own thing. I'm actually currently writing another book, and it's all about brand. It's about building resilience, utilizing your assets, network, and diligence, right? People whom I coach have, this is the framework who I lived through for them. I lived through this framework also for my own personal life, around my books, around everything that I do, right? Because so say, for example, I'm going to come up with somebody having a random dream. Say an individual wants to, let me give you something off the wall. They want to learn how to ski, something simple, something people of color are not really always interested in, right? So you want to learn how to ski. That's your goal. I want to really be a master skier. I'm going to go to Vermont to the slopes and I'm going to kill it in my little outfit with my really, really cute ski jackets, because ski jackets are really cute jackets. And I want to have my little ski jacket, and then I want to have my hot cocoa by the fire on top of the bear. And it's going to be all these different things. It's going to be really romantic. It's going to be really fun with my kids. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get off the block. I'm going to go to Vermont and go skiing. In order to do that, right? That's a dream. That's a goal, right? That you may have. You got to come up, and the first thing you have to do is build a plan. So one, building a plan means one, where's the finances going to come from? Okay. What time of the year or am I actually going to go? Right. Who am I going to invite with me to maybe make it more affordable for me to actually have this? And where can I physically get lessons now, so I'm prepared for that, right? Now with resilience is very simple. It's about me understanding and knowing that I can ski, right? I can ski. Nothing's going to stop me from skiing. I'm resilient. I'm capable of doing anything and everything that I want to do. I can get it done. Next thing you do is assets. Anything and everything's an asset. You can look up videos of skiing on YouTube. You can look up Google people who are expert skiers. You can find articles. You can go to the library and read books. Anything and everything is an asset. You can go on your social media. Who knows how to ski? And I guarantee there's probably somebody in your social media who knows how to ski. There might be at least one. I don't ski, don't ask me. Okay. So you find anybody who can do that. And then now they become an asset and you can start learning about it, right? And getting all the information you need. Then also your network. Again, following the people around you within your network who can ski. Go on Facebook, find skiing communities, people who love skiing 911. I don't know. There's probably a community that exists. Lean into that network so you can find information in the tools of what's the best cabins in Vermont, which ones are children friendly. And then lastly, diligence. Be diligent about getting the work done. That's where your mindset comes in, where you're focused on this is how I can get this done. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to accomplish this particular goal. As you see, I pull skiing out the sky and it works for brand. No matter what you're talking about, or what you're working on, or where you're trying to go, this framework can work for every single goal, activity, lesson, does not matter. Brand is a framework that applies to anything because you always need a plan. You need to believe. You need to understand how to get it done. You need a network to accomplish certain things, and you need the mindset to make sure it happens. So it doesn't matter. So brand fits everybody, and that is mine. Dr. Glow. That is mine. It's trademark, Dr. Glow, right? For brand. So doesn't matter what you're working on. But get yourself a good coach who can support you through these particular steps to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. How you can get in contact with me? Y'all, that's me inside my gym. Hi, hey me. Hi, Glow. Hello. So that is my direct phone number. My email for coaching is Unified Life Consulting. I am a consultant. I'm an education consultant and advocate. And my address is in Mount Vernon, New York. And you can follow me on social media at Dr. Glow, the brand.